For years, the American garage dismissed him as a road course tourist, a rookie who would fade once ovals showed up, a driver who would never sniff a Cup Series title. Here's the part nobody in the garage wants to say out loud. He never faded. On June 28, 2026, he tied Tony Stewart's all-time Cup Series road and street course win record with a sweep at Sonoma, his 8th Cup win. And he isn't alone. Behind him is a queue of Supercars talent, Brock Feeney, Cam Waters, and Will Brown, actively chasing Cup seats of their own. Something has cracked in the garage, and it isn't just about lap times anymore. 2 weeks ago, it boiled into an actual on-track war, and NASCAR still hasn't fully explained what happened. So let me ask you straight up, is NASCAR, America's sport, built by Americans, for American ovals, actually being taken over by outsiders who weren't even supposed to survive their rookie year? What's coming isn't just stats. It's a fight that spilled into Chicagoland, a fight Denny Hamlin himself called premeditated, and a prediction by the end of this video that will wreck the comment section. Start with the car itself. The next-gen chassis runs independent rear suspension, a sequential style shifting feel, and a symmetrical body, a machine that behaves closer to a supercar than the old stock car generation ever did. That single fact has been quietly killing the "he'll fade on ovals" prediction all year. At Nashville Superspeedway on May 31, 2026, during the Cracker Barrel 400, he recorded his first career oval top 5, trading the lead with Kyle Larson before finishing 5th in his 64th Cup start. He later posted a personal oval best of 6th at Echo Park Speedway, part of 5 top 15 finishes in his first 11 oval starts of 2026. In his own words, the progress has come from getting so much better at knowing where to place the car and restarts. His teammate Ross Chastain, a 5-time oval winner, has publicly noticed the same development. Wait until you hear what NASCAR itself admitted about the incident nobody can stop talking about. Lap 48, Chicagoland Speedway, the Aero 400. The number 97 makes contact with Austin Hill's number 33 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet entering turns 3 and 4. Hill's day ends in the wall, a 37th place finish, his second DNF in 3 races. Under caution, Hill drives alongside and sideswipes the number 97 back, caught live on camera. Austin Hill said afterward that if he has to explain the hit, people probably need glasses. Richard Childress called it payback, pointing to an earlier incident at San Diego's Naval Base Coronado that eliminated both Trackhouse cars. Denny Hamlin went further on air, suggesting the contact looked premeditated. Here's the twist. NASCAR reviewed the SMT data, the radio transmissions, and every camera angle available, and issued 0 penalties to either driver. Compare that to Ryan Preece, who was fined $50,000 and docked 25 points for a similar intentional contact call on Ty Gibbs at Texas, because his radio chatter proved intent. This driver walked away with nothing. A fan going by Bread summed up the frustration online, pointing out that Preece got hammered for the same move and saying he'd better see the same treatment applied here. NASCAR says it isn't over. Officials are sitting both drivers down before the next race, which means this rivalry is walking straight into the next broadcast still armed. Now, before we get into who's coming next and why it should genuinely worry the garage, we're closing in on 500 subscribers here at NASCAR Trackline TV, and every single one of you hitting subscribe, dropping a like, and sharing this video is what gets us there. If you haven't yet, now's the time. The reaction since Chicagoland has split the sport. Fans are openly asking why Preece was punished and this driver wasn't. NASCAR's VP of Racing Communications, Mike Ford, defended the ruling, stating officials found nothing that proved the hit was 100% intentional and penalty-worthy. That directly contradicts Jamie McMurray's on-air claim that the data showed proof he called undeniable. Whether you call it a racing incident or a hit job, the sport's biggest names are now taking public sides in a fight involving a driver American media spent 3 years insisting wouldn't last. The numbers back up why this matters. 8 career Cup wins, every single one on a road or street course, tying Tony Stewart's all-time record. He has now won 7 of the last 9 road and street course Cup races run. The Sonoma weekend included both the Cup win and the O'Reilly Series win the day before. He currently ranks second in the series with a 5.67 average finish over his last 3 races, trailing only Tyler Reddick's 5.0. Yet he still sits on the playoff cut line at 14th, meaning every one of these controversies is unfolding while his season hangs by a thread. This isn't a single driver story anymore. Brock Feeney, the current Supercars points leader and a 30-time Supercars race winner, is actively lobbying for a Cup cameo. On the Dale Jr. Download podcast, he said Feeney is on the ovals all the time iRacing, texting me all the time, adding that Feeney would be really good. He also noted Ford has struggled on road courses, floating Feeney as a fix, an Aussie recruited to solve an American manufacturer's American track problem. Veteran Paul Morris has compared Feeney to a Verstappen-level talent. 3 names now define the next wave. Brock Feeney leads the Supercars Championship after being pipped by Chaz Mostert in 2025, backed by a record-breaking campaign of 19 poles, breaking Scott McLaughlin's 16-pole record, and 14 wins. He pursued Watkins Glen and Sonoma cameos in 2025 and fell short both times, but hasn't dropped the pursuit, and he also impressed in a factory Ford GT3 entry at the Bathurst 12-hour, though he remains contracted to 888 through 2029. Cam Waters already has NASCAR mileage, having run a 3rd RFK Racing entry at Sonoma, giving him a direct pipeline to the team already flagged as a likely landing spot. Will Brown, also contracted through 2029, brings door-banging aggression suited to short tracks and super speedways. Every name on this list came up through the same Supercars pipeline that now defines the next-gen car. Here's the prediction. He is already driving the number 97 for Trackhouse Racing, a number tied directly to his Supercars past, a driver who has planted a flag, not a tourist. Given the payback for California framing and NASCAR's own decision to sit both drivers down before their next race together, expect the Hill feud to boil over again before the regular season ends, and expect a penalty won't be avoidable next time. Expect a second Aussie or Kiwi name to officially land a Cup or Xfinity O'Reilly seat before the year is out, with Feeney the most likely candidate given the Ford road course narrative already in motion. And given the Nashville top 5 and Echo Park top 6 progression already on record, expect his first career oval win to land before critics expect it. None of this is resolved. If NASCAR won't penalize an incident even with Denny Hamlin himself calling it premeditated, has the sport already picked a side, and does that side happen to be the outsider it once dismissed as a gimmick? Drop where you land in the comments. Was Chicagoland a racing incident or a hit? And should the next Aussie or Kiwi seat go to Feeney, Waters, or someone else entirely? Comment your take and share this video with another NASCAR fan who needs to see this. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.